Hello everyone, this is Rubisk, and welcome to episode 2 of my Rogue Behind the Scenes series. Today I'm going to go over how chests and spawners are implemented in rooms. So first off, let's go over how exactly I'm spreading chests and spawners, how I'm determining where to place them. So every time I clone in a room, I go to the negative x, negative z coordinate, and basically what's happening is an armor stand gets spawned. And this armor stand will start spawning other armor stands at its location, and then it will determine them, it will teleport them a random amount of blocks into the x, y, and z direction. And so, depending on the room, it'll go 8, 12, or 16 blocks that way. So for example, a 16 block room, this armor stand will summon a new armor stand, and that armor stand will get teleported like 8 blocks up and 8 blocks that way, and then like 12 blocks here, which ends up somewhere around here. Now the next thing every armor stand that got spread will do is it'll try to place down a torch where it's at. So for example, if there's an armor stand here, it'll place down a torch right there, but if it gets spread so somewhere mid-air in here, it will try to place the torch down at mid-air using a setblock command. Now, the way Minecraft handles a setblock command is that whenever it's a valid location for the torch to be, like on this block, the torch will stay down, but if I summon it in mid-air, or if I setblock in mid-air, the torch will immediately disappear. So after that, I check whether or not the torch is still there using a test4 block command. And if there is, then I know that it's a valid location for a spawner or chest to be placed at. So for example, if this thing got teleported over here, it'll recognize that, hey, a torch can be placed on iron bar, so we can place a chest here, and then it'll get killed, and then a new armor stand will come and try again. Or somewhere in midair, like here, you can have a torch floating in midair, so a chest can generate under here, but on top of here it can. And that's basically the way that I spread around spawners and chests through the rooms, and I do something very similar for the hallway. So now let's go over how I actually make the chests and spawners. Okay, but now for the actual making of the chests and spawners. The spawners are quite simple. Basically, there's an objective called difficulty, and that objective keeps track of basically the level it's in, so wood, sandstone, snow, stone brick, or nether brick, and depending on that, it'll randomly select one of those 20 spawners, so 4 per layer of difficulty, and that'll get cloned to here, and then it'll clone this one to wherever the armor stand is. And the reason I need to do it using a static position is that you can only execute once. So basically, one column gets teleported, gets cloned over here every tick, and then the armor stand inside the generator will select one of these and then clone it to itself. It's basically the way that works. So nothing all too complicated over there. Chests are a little bit more difficult. So for the chests, I wanted to make sure that chests would get filled with random items, and I also wanted to make sure that the items wouldn't be all at the beginning of a chest, so that it wouldn't look like just have a bunch of items in the first few slots, because I think that looks kind of stupid. So basically what I did is, for each time a chest has to be generated, it'll clone a chest over here, and then it'll start summoning items on top of here. If you see this giant thing of command blocks, there's basically a 1 in 4 chance it'll go through a 1 in 4 chance every 27 times, so once for each slot, and it'll basically say yes or no, and if it says no, that's a 75% chance it'll summon diamond horse armor on top of the hopper. If it says yes, then it'll select one of these command blocks using a spread player command on that armor stand, and then that one will summon an item over here. So for example, this one summons a simple wooden sword. This one summons I don't know, a potion. This one summons flint. This one summons a melon. And so basically this chest will get filled up with items using the hopper, and then I use this thing over here to check in which slots contain a diamond horse armor. Then I remove them, and so after that after all those get removed, it'll look something like this, and then there you got your chest. So this was one of the most tough things to come up with for the roguelike, and it took a lot of time to manually craft all the items, because I had to manually spawn them all in and give them unique properties. And then basically what I did is I manually made all the items, and then I wrote a little filter, which I'll link in the video description, to translate those items into command blocks. So yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to cover for today. Next week I'll do one more episode where I go over the way the mobs work. And out of all this redstone, this row and this row is everything you need for a mob. So I'll go a little bit more in depth about those. Now, in case you're interested and you want to experiment yourself, these rows are used for spreading around the chests and spawners, and these are used for generating chests. And then over here, all this stuff is used just to set up everything and reset the dungeon and all that. After a dungeon gets reset, went over all that last time. And then this is used for stuff. This is used for teleporting the player to the dungeon and setting all kinds of scores for the players. And then this is used for the mobs and the HP and that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's gonna do it for today, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.